The West Bloomfield Fire Department is doing everything they can to get the community informed and to keep everybody safe. Here with some more information on what we can be on the lookout for is West Bloomfield Fire Marshal Byron Turnquist. Byron, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this soggy spring day?
I'm hanging in there just as everybody else is, and that's exactly what we're here to talk about, making sure that everybody is safe and prepared for when these storms eventually make their way right here to Michigan. So what are the biggest safety concerns for Michigan residents during the upcoming thunderstorms?
Well, what usually gets associated with the thunderstorms and spring weather is down power lines and losing power. Very important if there's a down power line in your neighborhood, or even more importantly, closer to your house. Stay inside. Don't venture into the area where that line is down. And keep in mind that anything that power line might be in contact with is going to be energized. We always treat power lines as being energized until DTE can come out and make them safe. So you want to be very cautious whenever you're moving around the area. If there's play structures in your backyard, sheds, fences, anything that power line might be in contact with, don't touch because it's probably energized.
That's absolutely right. Live wires can be a very, very dangerous thing. It's important that everybody stays away from them if they happen to see one. What precautions should people take ahead of severe weather to try and stay safe?
It's great while everybody's got power. Try to keep your cell phones and your iPads and those devices completely charged. If you've got the backup batteries that you can charge devices off of, it's a good idea to make sure that those are fully charged. If you've got a generator at home, make sure that you have gasoline and you're prepared to use the generator if you require it. And then if you put a generator into action, we always advise people to make sure that the generator is used outside of your home. That includes the garage. Get it outside, away from your house. Keep it away from any doors or windows, or even the intakes for your furnace, those types of things. So when that generator is running, you don't want to have the risk of CO entering your home. Keep it away from combustibles. And then when it does run out of fuel or when it's getting low, shut it down. I know it's inconvenient, but shut it down, let it cool before you try to pour gasoline in it. The last thing we want is to spill a little gasoline on a hot exhaust pipe and have an ignition.
That's absolutely right. And I think with a storm like this, I would be very surprised to see if we see a lot of residents who don't lose power. I fully expect to see a lot of power outages around the West Bloomfield area and beyond. And of course, there's also the risk for other big things with this storm. It might just go beyond cloudy skies and thunder and lightning. There could be things that turn into a tornado in the area. So what are some key signs that a thunderstorm could turn severe or possibly produce a tornado?
Well, we used to always recommend to have a weather radio available to you, and that's still a great thing to have in your home that will alert anytime that there's a severe weather announcement. This day and age with the technology, your phones tend to go off when there's a tornado warning. You can get the weather apps and set those to alert you when there's changes to the weather in the area that you're in. And it's good to monitor and pay attention and keep an eye on what's going on, and don't get overcommitted and stuck out in the weather if you can avoid it.
That's right, and my phone certainly goes off whenever there is a giant thunderstorm like what we might be expecting tonight. So there's definitely going to be ways for everyone to stay up to date and informed. For those just joining us right now on The Splash, we have West Bloomfield Fire Marshal Byron Turnquist joining us to talk about what people can do, what local residents can do to prepare themselves for the impending thunderstorms that are going to be making their way to Michigan later on today. What steps should people take if they find themselves outside or on the road during severe weather?
Try to get home or into a building, that's going to provide you shelter. You want to stay away from a tree or those types of things. do your best to get home or into a larger building that's going to provide you cover. When you're in your home or another building and a tornado is coming or the straight line winds, you want to make sure you stay away from any windows. We always recommend to get to the lowest level of your home. Most of the homes around here, that would be a basement, and that's going to provide that shelter and get you away from glass that may break and cause other issues as that storm rolls through. Hopefully, we don't have to encounter that. They were predicting some heavy storms coming through on Sunday, and when that happened, they kind of fizzled out. So we always hope for the best, but it's great to be prepared.
Absolutely. You always want to be prepared. You don't want to be in this situation and not be prepared at all. And what are some common mistakes that people tend to make when preparing for or reacting to severe storms, would you say?
One thing we hate to see is candles, to be honest. Again, going back to your cell phones and making sure those devices are charged, make sure that you have some flashlights available. If they're rechargeable batteries, make sure they're ready. Candles do provide light, but they also create a hazard. So anytime you're using a candle in your home, you want to make sure that it's in a glass container and it's got a solid base to it so it doesn't easily get knocked over or fall over. And you want to keep it away from combustibles. And then more importantly, if you leave the room, put the candle out or make sure that you take it with you. Try to avoid using candles at all costs. The flashlights that you can get today that are relatively inexpensive provide a heck of a lot more light than candles do, and you can take that with you and light up a room a lot better than a candle.
That's absolutely right. And I'm glad you just talked about flashlights, because that's definitely going to be one of the things that everybody has on hand tonight, as well as possibly a full emergency preparedness kit. What should people have? What should families have in these emergency kits to prepare themselves for severe weather?
Well, in our area, we're fortunate. DTE does a good job where if we lose power, it's usually for a couple hours. Every now and then, it might be for a day. So you want to be able to make it, have the necessities available to last a day or two and try to live as normal as possible. If you have a well at your house, make sure you have some bottled water that you can drink, cook. If you need to use the restroom facilities, that will help there. So it's a good idea to always have some food and water on hand so that you can survive for a few days in the event that the storm is serious and you can't get to an open grocery store.
That's right. Lots of things you can do to prepare yourselves for these major storms. And Byron, we appreciate all of this information to get the community informed and trying to stay safe from things like this. But of course, there are other things to be on the watch out for right here in West Bloomfield that go beyond thunderstorm risk. One of which that everyone is paying attention to right now is the risk of gas leaks, as there was the recent incident in Detroit of an apartment explosion caused by a gas leak, leaving multiple residents of that building injured. What are the warning signs of a gas leak in the home, and how should residents appropriately respond?
If you smell gas in your house, get out of the house and call 911. We recommend that you get out of the home as quickly and safely as possible. You don't want to turn lights on. You don't want to turn lights or stuff off. You want to leave things the way they were and safely exit the home. We have proper equipment that we can come through and monitor and see the levels, and we can look for the source of the leak and try to mitigate that problem. And then we'll obviously work well with Consumers Energy to have them come out to evaluate exactly what's going on at your home.
All great information. Byron, thank you so much for joining us today on the Splash Live. One more quick question before we let you go. What's some last bit of information and some advice you could offer residents for what to expect tonight?
Stay safe. If you don't have to go out, stay home. Don't push it. And it's also while you're out driving around, if you see a puddle over the road, if you can avoid it, do so. You never know how deep that is. Sometimes people will try to drive through a subdivision road or a side road and not realize just how deep that puddle is, and they get stuck. So if you can avoid driving through puddles that are covering the road, do so. If you have to get through, be careful, go slow, be cautious, because you just don't know what's working beneath that water. So it's best to stay away, find another route home, and just be safe.
The intensity for these storms is said to be picking up around possibly the 5 o'clock hour when people will be on their way homes from work. So that is certainly going to pose some problems for the road, but just everybody stay safe. And that's exactly what we all should be doing. Byron, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.